What's going on YouTube? I am Fire, aka Fire God, aka DJ Jazzy Jeff, and I am one half of this channel. And what I'd like to do with this video is just give you an introduction to who I am and how I got into gaming, why it's become such a big part of my life, because it's one of the things I do the most. I love everything about video games. It's just a huge part of my life. Before I get into that though, I'm going to explain the gameplay in the background. It's a game of domination on the map Bayview. It's one of my best games I've ever had at Dom, except that IED. That thing fucks me up so many times in this game. I don't know why, but it does, so get ready to watch me die a few times. But let me jump into the commentary and give you a little bit of info about who I am. I am 24. I am about 6 foot. I enjoy long walks on the beach. I enjoy watching the sunset. And this is my JDate profile. This isn't JDate, this is YouTube. That's my mistake, guys. Let me begin again. Like I said, I'm 24. I enjoy long walks on the beach. And oddly enough, my JDate and YouTube profile begin the same way. I need to change one of those. Anyway, I'm 24. I'm an avid gamer. I've been gaming since I can remember. I would say at least 18 years, 18 to 20. Ever since I can remember. I've had video games in my life. I've been playing them. I can remember always talking with friends about how long we've been playing video games, and they'd be like, you know, I was 5 or 6 and I was playing, you know, like ABC Sesame Street or something like that. And I was like, oh, you know, when I was 5 or 6, I was playing Wolfenstein on the PC. So when you were singing the alphabet song with Big Bird, I was in a gunfight with Mecha Hitler. But, you know, everyone has to start someplace, I guess. And mine was that game. That's one of the games that really got me going on gaming. It made me fall in love with FPS games. Ever since that game, I've just been in love with the FPS style of video game. And you know, at that time, it wasn't a huge type of video game. It just got going at that time. You had Quake, Doom, and just a lot of other small FPS games. Hexen was one I remember. I had that demo. I don't know if any of you played Hexen, but I loved that one. I had so many just random FPS games at the time because that's all I could get. I didn't have a job, you know, I didn't have money, I was 6. So I would download as many demos as I could. I'd find a new one and I would download it, I would play it, and I loved it. I loved FPS at the time. I was also big into RTS games like Command and Conquer and turn-based games like Heroes of Might and Magic. I loved that style of game. So on the PC, those were my big ones. RTS was a big one for me when I was young. I played that style of game a lot. FPS was, I guess at that time it wasn't huge for me because it was mostly just the demos of the games, but you know, I still loved it and would play it as much as I could. The FPS became a bigger part of my gaming life when we got an N64 and, you know, games like 007. That game was, everybody loved that game. You know, that was a big step in the multiplayer, you know, style of game. And that was one of the funnest games to play too. You know, get a bunch of friends and play that, and it was a good time. And then we got a PS2, and I was still into the 007 style of game because those were big at the time. And I had a few of those, and I liked them. They were fun. Medal of Honor, that was a big one too. I really liked that game. That was a big FPS for me. It got me into that like war style of FPS, I guess. COD was out. I want to say COD 1 and 2 would have been out at that time. They were bigger on PC, I think. Same with like Counter-Strike and games like that. And it was more confined to the PC. That's where a lot of it was played. At least my remembering of it, like Medal of Honor, that was a console game, and Call of Duty was the PC game. And I didn't play Call of Duty that much. My brother, he would play COD. He would have LAN parties with his friends, and that's when I would play it. I'd jump in, play a few games, but it wasn't huge for me. It was fun, but I didn't really get into it. Maybe because I couldn't, as much as I would have liked, but, Medal of Honor, that was my game. I liked that one. And I could play it on console, and I did. And then you had, like, Halo on the Xbox, which I had friends who had it, and they loved it. I played it on PC, mainly just the campaign, because I wasn't big into multiplayer, at least not for that type of game. It was fun, but it just wasn't my thing that I wanted to do all the time. I guess I didn't really play the FPS multiplayer a lot on like the PS2 and the Xbox. But when the next gens came out, that's when Halo really blew up into this big multiplayer game. Everyone loved it. And again, I would play it with friends, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. Maybe I just never gave it a chance, but I didn't have it, so I couldn't give it, much of a chance, I guess. But it just didn't really, I didn't like it that much. Like I said, it was fun, but not a game I want to play all the time. And then COD 4 became just huge. That's really when the multiplayer online FPS took off, I think. Everyone loved that game, and I had a friend who had it, and he loved it. But when I saw him play it one time, I remember thinking, I'm not blown away by this game. I don't see the appeal. It's not, it's a game, whatever. I don't like it that much. I'm not going to rush out and buy, a next-gen console to play this game. But when I finally did get a PS3, I wanted to get MW2, so I don't know what changed in my mind that made me want to all of a sudden play that game, but I got it, I played it, and I loved it. And I never played the campaign. It was straight to online, and I loved it. And I, from that point on, I liked Call of Duty. It's like now I'm a fan. Whereas before, I was just kind of like, it's another game, whatever, I'm not that impressed by it. I don't see what all the hype is. And then I played, and I'm like, alright, this is a fun game. So I played that one, but it wasn't the only game I played. I still, switched between games. I had a lot of games I was playing at the time. But when Black Ops 1 came out, that's when I really started, getting into Call of Duty. That's the game I always went back to. I'd buy a new game, I'd play it, but I would always end up back online playing Black Ops because I didn't want to stop playing that game. I had so much fun with it. And it got me really hyped for MW3. Like, I was really excited when that was coming out. More excited than I was for Black Ops. Like, my love of the game was, it was going up. And then MW3 came out, and I liked it. I played 3 or 4 months maybe, and then I just got sick of it. And I think a lot of people were the same way. I went back to Black Ops 1 because I liked that game more. I loved that game. So by the time Black Ops 2 came out, I probably had 30 plus days logged into Black Ops 1. And that's one of my most played CODs to this day. And then Black Ops 2 came out, and that was my favorite COD for a long, long time. Well, I can't say a long time, it was a year until Ghost came out. So, but I played it a lot. By the time Ghost came out, I had probably 20 plus days logged into Black Ops 2. I just really enjoyed that game. And then when Ghost came out, this game really, I fell in love like right away. My love for Call of Duty was at its peak when this game came out, so I was really hyped. And I loved it from the get-go. it was a tough game to get used to. Everyone had to get used to this game, but once I did, I mean, I couldn't put it down, and I haven't since. I have 30 plus days into this game already, and it's not done yet. We've got a few months before Advanced Warfare comes out, and I'm still playing it, and I'm still loving it as much as I did the first time I played it. I love the game so much, I have a tattoo of it on my arm. And it's... the tattoo, the reason for it is more than just it being... than me just liking the game, I guess. The game became an escape for me, because at the time of its release I was going through some shit in my life, and I would play this game to get away from everything, to just forget everything that was going on outside the game, and it really helped me just forget what was going on. And I credit this game for a lot, and I'm lucky to have had it in my life. I really am. That might sound stupid, but it's the truth. This game means a lot to me, for more than, you know, it just being a fun game and a game that I like. So that's, I guess, where I'm gonna leave you guys. You have a little bit more, you know, a little bit about me now. I hope, knowing what you do about me, you might want to sub to the channel. Like I said, there is one other guy on the channel, and I'm hoping he does a video like this so you get to know him too. But for right now, you know me, and I hope this was enough to get you to give us a sub, maybe give us a like on the video, watch the last video that I made, the ghost montage, and I just really hope you guys can, you know, give us a shot, come back, watch the next few videos, and we're going to do the best we can to keep you guys entertained. So hopefully see you guys next time. Bye.